Hello, Alan. Okay.
Ah,
Ah. Okay. Alright. Gotta do the daily stuff first. Of course. Okay. Trying to remember what else I need to do. No, wait, I still need to do something there. These. Oh, wait. Gotta double check something. Ah.
訓練の成果ね。現実その
Just gotta do these quick.
404を敵に
Let's
回
back
し
to
た
the
のが運
story.
の尽きよ。
Because I wanna continue. Because I wanna know what happened. Especially because I'm pretty sure we left off at a pretty big point. That, and since the backup they keep talking about, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be me, but like, where am I?
訓練の成果ね。現実
Ow.
その404を敵に回したのが運の尽きよ。
Okay, that's all I gotta do. Now shop. No. Alright, I got time until that other platoon stuff is up. Which is good, because I kind of don't want to deal with that. It's just... It feels really tedious. You know, wondering what I should do later after stream, because I mean it's gonna be a short one today for the most part, but I don't know. I don't really know what I feel like doing. Just have not been doing too good recently. I had to dispute a VOD, by the way, on my YouTube. I had to dispute it because it was getting blocked for what amounted to about 40 seconds of split up audio and video from a video that was reacting to that, and that video was completely fine. It was dumb. Didn't make any sense. I hate that they count that as an enemy. She had to move all the way over there to use her ult. I still find it crazy that the Titles are so short. Like from the measurements people have done since their models have actually been like publicly available and everything by Mika team. It's insane how short they are. Yo! Alright, let's see. What do we want? Nice. Okay. Gonna work on getting these unlocked. Guess I could at least do one of these. Reach the objective point first. Ah, there we go. That was easy. I keep forgetting it's the inverse cipher is the one that's like you play as the enemies and use their ability to try to complete little like puzzle stages. Let's see. Eliminate all enemy units. Okay. And put you here. Oh, I had to be done in one. Okay, retry it. I thought it was in 2 turns. Alright. Okay, so first here. Then you go here. Burst down this way. How about that? Will that work? Yeah. I think another thing that would have worked is if I would have put the little scholar thing on the point itself. Okay, let me do the 3 and then I'm going to story. Eliminate target unit. No allies lost. I don't quite get. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Ooh, wait, I see. Okay, hold on. I think I get it. Oh, that's problematic. Okay. Restart. I think I need to get the... What's it called? I need to get the sword dude here. Okay, so maybe if I do this, and then you. Huh. Oh, he got knocked off. Okay, so I'm gonna move him here. Pelt him. And move you here. That works. Alright, there we go. I'll save the last two for another day. Voyage. I still think I should get her a better weapon. There's 2. 4 days, and this one's a bajillion days. I'll do those later. Still think I should at least try to get her purple gun. Okay, let's see. Let's hope we're lucky. Hey, there we go. Purple gun. It's already good enough. I'm fine with that.
指揮官、いいところに来てくれましたね。ああ。
It's a goofy looking weapon. What was her recommended? I'll deal with that later. What is with this?
おかえりなさい。
Oh. Yeah, it's just to do this, okay. Here we go. Fighting this thing again. Finally, we got an update on what's going on with us. The Elmo cruises along in the night. It is traveling at the same speed, but the vibrations we are experiencing as the vehicle is in motion are putting me on edge. While we are en route to offer Hyde 404 reinforcement, Leonard gets in touch once again. But this time she brings bad news. She has lost contact with Cookie and the others. Losing contact in the contamination zones is a common but nonetheless distressing phenomenon. Bounty hunters whom I have met briefly, convoys of underground brokers with whom I occasionally do business, adventurers who happen to have hitched a ride on the Elmo. I've crossed paths with so many people in the wind and the sand only to never hear from them again. But I never thought the same would happen with them this time. Fortunately, with Lena's help, dear... Was it Dyer? Dyer and I managed to make contact, and we agreed on a meeting place. Right now the Elmo's heading towards the location at full speed. However, the signal reception seems to be deteriorating, and my instinct tells me that this isn't a coincidence. Can't help but regret the sincerity I wanted to demonstrate. The prospect of having Hyde 404 join my ranks had been such a relief to me that I forgot the rules within the contamination zone. If I had contacted them sooner, we wouldn't be in this predicament now. I can only pray that my naive desire to give them a surprise has not put them in terrible danger. The Elmo's already traveling at full velocity. I just hope we won't be too late. No, I have faith in her and her Hyde 404. This time I'll be the one who comes to you, Cookie. And Doris and Cookie are exploring the salt mine cave with the Survey Corps, while Michty and Bika are investigating another tunnel.
隊長、ミシティと美容家を別の行動に行かせてよかったの？この内部の構造図、もう古くて頼りにならないよ。
Leader Cookie, is it really okay to send Michty and Bika down the other tunnel? although I've installed the layout map, it's from many years ago and very much incomplete.
ここ思った以上に広いし地形もかなり入り組んでる。
This cave is much bigger and more structurally complex than indicated in the environmental intelligence that we currently possess.
普段はああでも404のメンバーには変わりないわ。
They may usually seem unreliable, but they're still members of Hide 404.
陽動作戦で敵が用心深くなってるとはいえ、ここが見つかるのは時間の問題よ。できるだけ早く済ませないと。
Even though we managed to give the enemy second thoughts about attacking us, it's only a matter of time before they find us here. We must pick up the pace.
そうだね。二人とも無事だといいな。
Alright, let's hope they'll be safe. Once they turn the corner, the path widens up. Out of thoughtful consideration for Klugai's damaged left eye, Doris positions herself on the left side. She presses her fingertips lightly on the small white crystalline substance on the surface of the wall.
岩塩湖なんて初めて。なんて不思議な場所。
This is the first time I've ever been inside a salt mine. It feels quite miraculous.
岩壁には人工的に開削された跡があるけど、波みたいな溝や色とりどりの模様は自然によるものだね。
The walls show sign of artificial excavation, but these wave-like grooves and patterns of alternating colors are all the result of natural geological formation.
それが不思議。
Is that anything special?
私、グリーンエリアのビル群かイエローエリアの荒野しか知らないから、人間が自然と共に発展してるのを見ると不思議に感じるな。
Indeed, I've only ever seen the skyscrapers in the green zones and the uninhabited deserts in the yellow zones, but here, human development is entirely dependent on nature. I find that fascinating.
人間にはいつも驚かされちゃう。ここの一部を療養施設に改造しようだなんてよく思いついたよね。
Humans can be quite astounding at times. It boggles the mind that someone once excavated part of this cave and turned it into a sanatorium.
大方金儲けの手段でしょ。
It's most probably just some gimmick for making money. Dimitri humps at Klukai's remark from the forefront of the expedition group.
お前に何がわかる？
What do you know?
人間はな、任務と金しか頭にないガラクタとは違うんだよ。
Unlike you, carrying out missions and making money don't consume our every waking thought.
それに人間のひらめきがなけりゃ、お前ら人形どもが作られることもなかった。
Also, if it weren't for a sudden stroke of genius that humans had, you bunch of tin cans wouldn't even be here. Noticing Klukai's irritation, Doris tactfully changes the subject.
私、もっと早く製造されてたらな。コーラプス放射線のない世界、見てみたかった。
It's a pity that it was rolled out rather late. I would have loved to see the world before all the collapse radiation.
地下200メートルでの生活なんて息苦しいとしか思えないのに、ここではそれが特色なんだね。
Living 1 to 200 meters underground sounds terribly claustrophobic, and yet it made this place a local attraction.
過去の調査報告によると、この療養施設が長らく観光業の主役だったんだって。洞窟内には天然ガスのパイプラインが大量に敷かれてるらしいよ。
According to an old investigation report, the sanatorium here had been a hub that supported local tourism for a long period of time. Constructors had installed a large amount of pipelines within the cave to transport natural gas.
ガスのおかげで年中暖かくて、観光客が後を絶たなかったんだとか。
Because of that, this place was warm in all seasons, which attracted a lot of tourists to spend their vacations here.
旅行客の写真には街や畑、植物や広い道路、行き来する車も映ってた。
In the tourist
とても
photographs,
人気のある観光地だったんだね。
in the tourist photographs, this place was a town with fertile soil, plenty of greenery, highways and bustling traffic. Seemed like a popular destination.
アンドリス、無駄な資料読んでないで任務に集中しなさい。
And Doris, focus on the mission. Don't get distracted by useless information.
はーい。でも世界にこんなに賑やかな場所があっただなんて。
Sure. Still, I just can't help but wonder at the fact that there used to be such lively places in the world.
ディミトリーさんは新ソ連人の方でしたよね。この辺りにはお詳しいんですか？
You're a neo-Soviet, aren't you, Mr. Dmitri? Do you know anything about this place?
いいよ
No.
その時代に俺は生まれてね学校でもそんな無意味な知識は教えなかった
I wasn't even born back then, and schools don't teach such pointless stuff.
そうだったんですね。私は無意味だとは思いませんけれど。
Is that so? I don't think this is pointless, though.
昔がどうだったかは知らねえが
No matter what this place used to be like. Dmitri gives the thick pipe mounted on the wall a smack.
今や町も療養施設の消え失せ残るはボロいパイプとゴミの山だけだ
The town is gone, the sanatorium is gone, all that's left are these broken pipes and a pile of scrap metal.
無駄話は終わりだ始めるぞマークによればこの辺りのはずだ
Right, enough of the nonsense. Get on with the search, the mark coordinate should be around here. Seeing that Dmitri has no desire to continue the discussion, Andotis keeps quiet. The party walks deeper into the cave in silence, with only their footsteps echoing through the space.
あら、ここの放射線量。ディミトリーさん、それと部下の方々も防護服の機密性をご確認なさった方がよろしいかと。
The radiation levels here. Mr. Dmitri, you and your subordinates had better make sure that your protective suits are properly sealed.
どうした
What's wrong?
エリア内の放射線量が急上昇しています。
The collapsed radiation detector indicates that there's a sudden spike in the particle concentration in this area.
坑道内は空気が流動しないので数値に変動があってもおかしくありませんが、さすがにこれは異常です。
The readings can fluctuate due to the lack of airflow within the cave, but the jump in this area is not normal.
何かの影響を受けてるってこと？
The cause could be non-natural?
多分
I'm afraid so.
ディミトリー、私たちの探してるものと何か関係があるのかも。
Dmitri, this could have something to do with the marked location.
ああ原因を探るぞ
Yeah, let's check it out.
ここは一本道だ答えは目の前だ
There's only one path. Whatever it is should be directly ahead.
お前たち二人はここで待機通信範囲から出そうなら奥へ来るよう伝える
You two stay here and stand by. If we're about to go beyond the effective comms range, I'll tell you to move forward, to move further in. Roger, sir. Dmitri glances at the number shown on the detector's screen and pats the two soldiers on the shoulder.
気をつけろよ
Watch yourselves. Party proceeds further into the cave. Fortunately, this tunnel does not lead very deep, and they see the end in less than 10 minutes.
これはコーラプスクリスタル
What's this? Collapse crystals. Dmitri peers at a cluster of green crystals in the corner, about a dozen meters away.
いくらレッドエリアに近いからってなんだこのデカさは
We are pretty close to the red zone, but the crystal cluster's too big, no?
本当にイエローエリアで自然発生するコーラプスクリスタルの体積は通常7立方センチメートルを超えないはずです。
You're right. An individual collapse crystal grown naturally in the yellow zone is usually no larger than 7 cubic centimeters.
でもこの結晶少なくとも倍以上はありますね。
But this crystal is at least 15 cubic centimeters. Terrace checks the radiation levels and wind speed again.
ここにかなりの間存在していたようです。坑道内の線量異常はこれが原因でしょう。
It appears to have been here for quite a while. It was the spread of internal collapse particles that caused the abnormal radiation levels within the mine.
空気の流動が少ないためにコーラプス粒子が拡散せず異常な線量差につながったんですね。
Due to the lack of airflow in the mine, these particles have accumulated inside, resulting in the abnormal concentration curve.
アンドリス、もう少し近づいてみましょう。
Andonis, let's take a closer look. Kluka shoots a glance at Dimitri, who also wants to inspect the crystal from up close.
その古い防護服じゃこれ以上近づかない方が身のためよ。
Your protective suit is of an old model and not completely failsafe. You'd better stay where you are if you don't want to die.
ならお前がしっかり調べとけ。
And make sure you take a good look at it.
言われなくても。
Right. Kluka and Endoris walk on. Meanwhile, Endoris' voice comes through their level 2 connection. Mr. Dimitri seems to trust us a little now. That's just because he has no other choice. Endoris, study this crystal cluster carefully. Collapsed crystals are relatively stable and don't tend to explode, but still best be careful. I'm just noticing that the ad, so I'm letting the ad play through. Hmm. Okay. I think it's... Okay, yeah, it's done. Endoris, study this crystal cluster carefully. Collapsed crystals are relatively stable and don't tend to explode, but still best be careful. After handing out Endoris a task, Klukai redirects your attention to the comms channel. Michibika, find anything on your end? Nothing so far. We'll keep going, this tunnel's pretty deep. Michiti, you bumped into me. My night vision is a bit impaired, so bear with it. You walked right into me even though this tunnel is so wide and spacious. That's no accident. Hey, traffic accidents happen even on wide roads, let alone driving in the dark while being exhausted. Right. Keep up the search. Contact me if you come across anything out of the ordinary. Hold on. I feel like the volume's a little quiet. Ooh, that went too high. Okay. I got a notification from... Oh. Huh. Well, I have something I'm gonna have to send somebody later. Kluka has had enough of their bickering and temporarily disconnects from the comms channel. She converses with Endoris through their level 2 connection instead. Endoris, anything? Based on the concentration of radiation particles inside the piece of collapsed crystal, it has existed for about half a year. Half a year? You mean such a large crystal formed within the span of just half a year? That's impossible.
私もそう思って結晶の成長面を調べたんだ。
Indeed. That's why I took a closer look at the surface where the crystal grew.
隊長、これを見て。
Look at this. Looking up where Doris is pointing, Klukai taps the side of the crystal lightly and a very thin crack appears between the crystal and the layer of rock in the cave.
まさか自然発生したものじゃないの？
This collapsed crystal didn't form naturally?
おそらくは
No, I'm afraid not.
自然発生したクリスタルはもっと付着力が強いはず。特に岩に形成されたものならクリスタルの形も岩の形に影響される。
Generally speaking, naturally grown crystals have stronger surface adhesion, especially those that grow on rock strata, whose shape is affected by the shape of the rock strata itself.
でもこれは
Well, this cluster here,
自然発生というよりかは埋め込まれたと言った方が正しいわね。
rather than growing naturally, it's more like it was planted here?
そう暗くて分かりづらいかな。このクリスタルの周囲岩だけじゃなくて少量のコンクリートがついてるの。荒削りだけど補強の役割をしてる。
I believe so. It's quite dark in here, so it may not be very easy to tell, but the rock strata isn't just rock around the crystal. There's some cement mixed in. It's a crude method, but it is more or less effective in strengthening the adhesion. Torres frowns.
隊長、もしかしてパラデウスの
Leader, could this have something to do with Paradeos?
こんな場所でわけのわからないことをしでかすなんてパラデウスくらいのものよ。
To have done something so bizarre in this kind of place, it can only be Paradeos.
集落で見つかった石と同じで何かのシンボルなのかな。
Could this also be some kind of totem? Like the strange rocks you found at the settlement?
ならこうまでして隠す理由はここのスペースも儀式が向いてないわよ。
If it were a totem, it's too well hidden. This isn't exactly a suitable place to conduct a ritual, is it?
とりあえず記録しましょう。通信が回復したらリヴァに送ってちょうだい。
In any case, log everything for now and send it over to Leva once the comms are restored.
分かった。
Got it.
おい、何ぼーっと突っ立ってる。あっちの人形どもと連絡するだけで、あとはだんまりか。
Hey, what are you two doing just squatting there? Other than the conversation you had with your other two teammates, you didn't make a single peep.
ディミトリーさんに教えようか。
Should we inform Mr. Dimitri of the situation?
パラデウスのことは黙ってて。
Don't reveal anything about Paradeos. After severing the level 2 comms connection, Klukai walks several steps back to Dimitri and directly states the conclusion they have arrived at.
結晶は人為的に埋め込まれたものね。
The crystals here were artificially planted.
人為的？
Artificially?
ええ。失踪した体がここを示したならメモの他の場所にあるのもおそらくこれでしょうね。
Also, if this is what the other Survey Corps soldiers found, then I'm afraid the same goes for all the other locations marked on the drawing.
くそが。こんなもん埋めやがって。正気か？
Whoever did this must be crazy.
正気かどうかはわからないけど、少なくとも異常放射線量の原因は判明したわね。
I cannot comment on the perpetrator's mental state, but at least this explains the high radiation levels in the area.
エリット感染者の奇妙な症状もこれと無関係ではないはずよ。
The unusual symptoms displayed by the elite patients at the settlement and within the ranks of the Survey Corps definitely have something to do with our crystal planter.
隊長、ディミトリーさん、クリスタルのデータと映像の記録完了しました。
Leader, Mr. Dimitri, I've finished logging all the data and visual records on the crystal.
それとまた新しい発見が。
However, I've discovered something else.
今度はなんだ？
There's more? Forgetting all about the dangers of collapse radiation, the impatient Dimitri ends up striding up to the crystal. Doris points at the rock strata that have been chipped off slightly at the base of the collapsed crystals. Beneath the gray rock, one can just about make out a white metal outer shell wrapped around the bottom of the crystal.
正確なサイズを測ろうと思って結晶を掘り起こしてみました。そうしたら 下からとんでもないものが見つかったんです。
White metal? I was just trying to get a more accurate measurement of the size, but once I cut the rock open, I realized there's something even more startling down there.
何かの装置に見えるわね。クリスタルを固定するだけのものとは思えない。
It seems to be some kind of device, but I doubt it's just for reinforcing the collapsed crystal.
これも掘り出せる？
Can you dig it out completely?
ちょっと無理かな。
Not at the moment.
この基板かなり強固に取り付けられてる。壊さずに掘り起こすには専用の採掘ツールがないと。
Its base is very firmly embedded. To keep it intact, we'll need professional excavation tools.
コーラップスクリスタル専用の容器も必要だ。このサイズを持ち歩くのは危険すぎる。
We'll also need a container designed for storing collapsed crystals. It'd be dangerous to just bring it with us considering its size.
やめだ。今は映像と座標だけでいい。詳細は後から援軍と調べる。こいつはとんでもない発見だ。すぐに通信を復旧させて上に知らせねえと。
Forget it. Save all the visual records and coordinates for now. We'll come back for it later with reinforcements. Now let's get back. This is a very important discovery. We must restore external comms ASAP and report our findings.
そうね。
Right.
アンドリス、ミシティと美容家に連絡を。何も見つからなければ入り口に戻れと伝えて。
Andoris, contact Michi and Bioka. If they still haven't found anything, tell them to head back. Right on cue, her communicator starts beeping. The moment the line connects, a deafening howl can be heard to the channel. Does my luck really that rotten or what? Why else would I run into this guy?
何があったの？
What's happening? Bad news. The Boojum that we encountered before is hiding in this tunnel. I think it's badly hurt, but I think it's badly hurt, but that only makes it more enraged.
なんですって？
What? We're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're seriously gonna die this time. Kuka, if I don't make it back, don't you dare delete the anime I recorded back at the base. I'm gonna watch it once I get a new frame.
無駄口はいい。すぐに行くから持ちこたえて。
Cut the crap, we're coming over right now. Hang on until we get there. Easy for you to say. It's in a pretty bad state, but we're no match for it even if it's 2 against 1.
逃げるのは得意でしょ。
If you can't beat it, run. Isn't that your forte?
とにかく私たちが着くまで戦力温存、足止めに専念するのよ。あれを入り口に近づけさせないで。戦うのはその後。
Save your strength before we get to you. Focus on pinning it down and don't let it approach the cave entrance. We'll only consider a direct confrontation when all of us are there.
これは命令よ。
It's in order. Make sure you comply. Alright, I'll definitely survive long enough for Big Sis Klukai to come to my rescue. Michi, pull yourself together now. Klukai terminates the call and looks at Dimitri.
以前のブージャムがミスティたちの方に現れたか。
The Boojum from before is in the tunnel that Michi and Byoka are exploring.
二人じゃ長くは向かない。私とアンドリスが応援に向かう。
And Doris and I have to go help them out or they won't last long.
笑えるぜ。機械が一丁前に会議と来た。
That's freaking hilarious having a meeting together, eh? Dimitri barks at a laugh and raises his communicator.
デミトリーだ。聞こえるか？
This is First Sergeant Dimitri, do you copy?
この前のブージャムが現れた。入り口で待機してる連中に警戒させろ。
The Boojum we encountered earlier has shown itself again. Remind the boys of the cave entrance to stay safe. All units prepare for battle.
俺と奥に来た奴はその場で戦闘準備。7分後に合流し、ブージャム討伐に向かうぞ。
The two of you that I ordered to stand by will return to your position in roughly 7 minutes. Once we regroup, we'll head straight for the Bujim's location and engage it. After giving his orders, Dimitri checks how many rounds he has left in his weapon.
あんたたちも
You're coming too.
当たり前だ。でなきゃ何か。奴に俺たちを格好撃破させて集落を襲わせようってか。
Of course. Or should I wait for the Bujim to kill the others one by one and leave the cave and continue to wreak havoc on the local settlements?
ぼさっとすんな。行くぞ。帰りに鉄くず2体を運ぶのはごめんだからな。
Don't just stand there, get a move on. I don't want to be dragging 2 piles of scrap metal on the way back. Oh. Well, the goal is basically stick close to it, right? So, I guess just do this. And that's probably fine. We can, I think it's low level anyway. I thought I could maybe hit it directly, but no. Oh wow, that just one-shots. I could have just one-shot in the beginning then. The Bujim gurgles one last time and then it gives up the ghost. Its ravaged body slams into the rocky walls and slowly slides to the ground. As the corpse shifts, its outer shell peels off and faintly glittering pieces of metal fall from it. They clink crisply as they hit the floor. Little Klukai, those are... Klukai gestures to Andoris, indicating that she should stop speaking. Michi walks forward and picks up each of the metal pieces. He says nothing. Instead, he pulls out his combat knife and plunges it into the Bujim's soft, exposed innards. With each sawing stroke, he opens a bigger and bigger hole in the Bujim's body, causing nauseating slime and collapsed crystals to ooze out. Wow, that's creepy. Is he trying to dismantle that Bujim? You know, like those heroes who kill dragons and eat their hearts or something? Those sounds. Ugh, that's way too gross. Thanks, this Kluka. I'm going to watch the perimeter. Let me know if anything comes up. Good heavens, he's reaching in there. Is he really going to pull out its heart? Stop narrating for him, Michi. Stop turning around and help me already, you two. Michi breaks his silence to call his men over, then speaks quickly to them. They help him enlarge the hole in the Bujim's side, and Michi half crawls into it. After feeling around for a bit, he emerges covered in filth and savagely wipes the ooze off his mask. That was disgusting. I don't think even the abattoir back home smelled that bad. What were you looking for? Richard doesn't directly answer Kluka's question. Instead, he cleans off the items he found inside the Bujim. It is a glass box, roughly the size one would use to hold a ring, with small fragmented collapse crystals on it. A ragged cloth is stuck in the box. The part outside the box is unrecognizable. The only part of the fabric which retains its original color is the part near the seams.
ロレンの軍旗に見えるな。ドッグタグとこの箱を包んでたやつか。だいぶ腐食してるが。
Looks like your URNC military flag. My guess is that it was used to wrap the dog tags in the box, but it's been corroded away.
ブージャムの体液が箱の中に滲んでる。中身が無事だといいけど。
The Boojum's fluids seem to have gotten into the box too. I hope what's inside is okay. Tipichu opens the box, takes out a small chip and a miniature military sound recorder. The inadequacy on the container means that they're covered in collapsed crystals too. Visit no head and wipes the recorder down before pressing the play button on it.
こちらはロクサット主義合衆国連盟所属第7環境調査隊1364小隊総指揮官ニコライ准尉
This is Warrant Officer Nikolai, overall commander of 1364th Platoon of 7th Environmental Survey Corps of the Neo-Soviet Union District Environmental Purification Project under the URNC Contamination Zone Management and Recovery Administration.
上層部の命令でこのエリアの環境調査を行っている
Received orders from above to perform an environmental survey of this region.
やっぱりか。
So it was him. The sound from the recorder is heavily garbled. A complex mix of emotions fills Dimitri's heart as he listens to the voice of his old friend in the recording.
時間が限られ
I don't have much time.
計画的な襲撃に遭い通信設備と防護装備を破壊された敵はマグニセキュリティという PMC とそれからネイト
We fell victim to a planned ambush. Our comms gear and protective equipment were destroyed. The enemy PMC called Mengi Security and NATO's.
ネイトだと。まさかパラデウスの。
NATO's? But NATO's from Paradeos.
パラデウスはとっくに滅びたはずだぞ。
Wasn't Paradeos wiped out long ago?
どうやら今も存在する上に新たな協力者を得たみたいね。
Looks like they're still around and they managed to get new helpers too.
この前の医療物資の護送はマグニセキュリティが武器を補充するためのカモフラージュだったってわけ。
Looks like that job Mengi Security had escorting medical shipments was just a cover for them to restock their arms and ammunition.
あの時すでにこちらを襲撃するつもりだったんだわ。
Seems they were already planning to attack us since then.
やろう。初めから狙ってやがったのか。
So they were lying in wait all this time. The recorder keeps playing. Nikolai doesn't sound like he's in good shape. His breathing is coming in rapid gasps.
マグニセキュリティの実態は見た目以上に複雑だパラデウスに協力してコーラップスクリスタルを各地に埋め込み実験を繰り返している
Mengi Security far more complex than they appear on the surface. They're helping Paradeos, planting collapsed crystals and carrying out experiments.
我々は死ぬ者狂いで奴らのデータを奪いチップに保存し
We did everything we could to obtain their information stored on that chip.
クリスタルの位置とマグニセキュリティの布陣を簡単に書き記しまだ動ける兵士に託した
We made a simple list, the crystal positions and Mengi Security's defensive layout, and tried to get our troops who could still fight to take it out.
部隊の大半はエリットに感染みんな苦しんでいる
Most of us are infected by Elid. Our guys are suffering from sickness.
弾薬もほとんど残ってない
We're almost out of ammo.
おそらく生還は絶望的だろう
We probably won't make it out of here. Dimitri's body tenses up from anger. He's silent, but anyone near him would be able to hear his teeth grinding.
隊長ディミトリーさんの様子が
Leader, Mr. Dimitri doesn't seem well.
静かに黙って聞いて。
Be quiet, keep listening. The recording keeps playing, but the sound quality keeps getting worse. It seems Nikolai's body is reaching its limit too, because he's coughing non-stop.
浄化授業が危ない。これは警告だ。
This is a warning. The purification work is under threat.
マグニセキュリティとネイトたちの最終的な目的は不明だが、このチップだけは何としてでも。
The final aim of Mankey's security and the NATO's unclear, so we need to preserve this chip.
そのためならたとえ丸腰になっても最後まで戦い続けてやる。
For that reason, we will fight to our last breath, even if we have to do it with our bare hands.
この世界に抗って抗い続けることでしか我々の奪われたものを取り戻す術はない。
Only by fighting back against the entire world without ever stopping can we take back everything we've lost.
前にコーラプスエピフィラムが咲いた時、その周りにいる炭素生物はかなりの確率でブージャムに変異するという報告を読んだ。本当ならいいのだが。
I once saw a report when collapsed epiphyllums bloom, nearby carbon-based life forms have a high chance of turning into boojums. I hope it's correct.
バカバカしく聞こえるかもしれないが、これが最後の手段だ。
It might sound ridiculous, but this is the only way.
このチップを見つけたのが増援部隊なら、チップの情報を持ち帰って広めてほしい。
I hope our reinforcements find this. Hope that the news in this chip will make it out.
いや、誰でもいい。我々を見つけたら殺してくれ。そして聞き届けてくれ。人間としての僕たちの最後の願いを。
No, it doesn't matter who finds it. Anyone who finds us, please kill us. Please listen to our final words as human beings.
我々はロレン浄化事業所属環境調査隊の軍人だ。今までも、そしてこれからも我々は決して屈しない。
We are soldiers of the URNC's Environmental Purification Project Survey Corps. We have never once bowed our heads, nor will we ever. The recording ends. For a while, the darkened mine is silent. The men from the Survey Corps are well beyond anger at this point. Their eyes are wide and bloodshot. The dolls from 404 look at the corpse of the Boojum they just killed and recall the words spoken by the deceased. Nobody can confirm the true origins of the Boojum. Perhaps it was just a monster that cruelly devoured the remains of the previous unit, but there is no doubt that in life, it was the toughest thing in this region. A veritable walking fortress.
アンドリス、チップの中身を調べられる。
Andoris, can you read the chip's contents?
試してみるね。軍用のチップとはいえだいぶ傷んでるから中身が無事かはわからないけど。
It's a standard military issue, but its exterior is damaged, and I'm not sure if I can decrypt what's inside it.
ディミトリー総長、チップを見せていただけますか？
Mr. Dimitri, could I take a look at the chip? Dimitri glances at Andoris and takes the chip out of the box and hands it over to her without a word.
一部は解析できたけど残りはプロに任せないとだね。
I can decrypt part of it, but we'll need a professional for the rest.
中のデータは保護されてる。私じゃバックアップも転送も無理みたい。
Also, this chip is write protected, so we can't back up its contents or transmit them.
解析できた部分だけ見せて。
Just show me the parts you can decrypt.
了解。
Of course. Andoris shares the portion of the data which she can decrypt with Klukai via level 2 connection.
これはメールの記録。
Are these email logs?
同じ穴の無地中ヘドが出るわね。
Birds of a feather flock together, as they say.
何が分かった？
What did you find? While the embers of rage are still smoldering in Dimitri's eyes, he seems to have calmed down.
マグニセキュリティとセスト&ファルベン間のメール記録よ。
We found logs of emails exchanged between Mengi Security and a company called Aphelion.
摂取なんだ？ベン？
What?
今回あんたたちに医薬品を提供したメーカーよ。
It would be easier to think of them as the suppliers of the medical products you're using.
これを見る限りかなり訳ありみたいだけど。
However, right now, they definitely don't look like an ordinary pharmaceutical company.
何が言いたいんだ？もったいぶるな。
Stop. You can't get to the point.
ロレンは浄化事業推進のためここ数年イエローエリアに多くの調査隊を派遣してきた。だけど得られたデータが犠牲に見合っているとは言い難い。
In order to progress the regional purification work, the UNC has dispatched multiple teams deep into the yellow zones to conduct environmental surveys. However, their losses are severe and the data they send back isn't very ideal.
今までの犠牲内部的には突発的環境事故によるものとされてるのよね。
The causes of these casualties have been classified under cited environmental factors, and the cases have been closed, right?
ああ、たまにバレアグや今回のマグニみてえな人為的なものもあるが、失踪者の 15% にも満たねえだろうよ。
While they were partially caused by human elements like the Varjegers or organizations like Mega Security, they're responsible for fewer than 15% of our team losses.
問題はそこよ。
Well, that's the problem.
自分の目で確かめなさい。
You should probably see for yourself. Cloak asked Andoris to project the email logs. After quickly scanning through them, Dimitri's expression suddenly changes.
こいつら、狂ってやがる。
Those people are insane.
野郎、このクソったれが。
After seeing Dimitri cursing out loud, the other two Survey Corps troopers move in to take a look.
パラデンスとマグニがこのエリア以外でも活動してるのか。
Wait, so Paradeos and Mangi Security are operating in areas other than this one?
メールに書かれた場所聞いたことがあるぞ。俺の同期がそこに派遣されたんだ。連絡はそれっきり途絶えてる。
I've heard of one of the locations mentioned in these files. One of my buddies who went through boot camp with me was posted there, and then I never heard from him again.
これはあくまで一部に過ぎないわ。チップをさらに解析すれば、奴らの暗躍する証拠がわんさか出てくるでしょうね。
This is just part of their email logs. In all likelihood, there's more incriminating evidence of their secret activities in the parts we haven't decrypted yet.
コーラプスクリスタルの用途は明言されてないけど、このメールから大体の結論は得られるわ。
Also, while we're not sure how exactly these collapsed crystals are being used, there's one thing we can be sure of from those emails.
パラデウスはコーラプス放射線に関する人体実験を行っていて、コーラプスクリスタルは放射線量を調節するための道具。そして実験に使われる人間の大半が洗脳されたユナイタスといったところかしら。
Paradeus is conducting human experimentation with collapsed radiation, and those collapsed crystals are used to adjust collapsed radiation intensity. Their test subjects are, for the most part, deceived and brainwashed unitates.
かなり大掛かりだね。ニコライさんのメモ通りなら、ここみたいな場所が他にもいっぱいあるってこと？
Sounds like a big project, and judging by Nikolai's paper, I take it they've buried a ton of them?
だからそのための武装支援が必要だった。
That's why they needed help from external armed personnel.
グリーンエリアで活動してたマグニセキュリティがイエローエリアに長期的に人員を割くようになれば疑いの目は避けられない。でも親会社の物資輸送代行や研究者の護送といった名目なら問題にはならない。
A security PMC that usually operates in the green zones would draw a lot of attention if they sent people into the yellow zones over a long period of time. But if they were transporting goods or escorting research personnel on expeditions to gather samples, that would be the perfect cover.
この規模の動きをロレンが気づかなかったとは考えにくい。ロレン内部に一定の地位を持った内通者がいると考える方が自然ね。
There's no way that UNC wouldn't have noticed personnel movements on that scale. I'm pretty sure they have people in the UNC and they have control over their policy to some extent.
この証拠を上に提出して対策を取らせねえと。
I need to get this info and the evidence to my superiors and let them handle this.
こんなイカれた連中は生かしちゃおけねえ。
Every day they draw breath is another day that the world is in chaos.
奴らの犠牲を無駄にさせてたまるか。
And I won't let the deaths of our comrades be in vain either.
このチップには高度なセキュリティと自戒システムが内包されています。自戒の条件には内容の複製も含まれます。今はチップそのものの保全を優先した方が良さそうですね。
This chip has very strong write protection and has a self-destruct program built into it which will trigger if it is duplicated, among other things. Right now all we can do is physically get the chip out of here.
なあ、分かってる。
Yeah, I know.
とにかく入り口の連中と合流して出発準備に取り掛かるぞ。
In any case, we'll be meeting up with our guys at the mine entrance. We need to head out ASAP. Doris hands Dimitri the ship. Dimitri returns it to the glass case with the utmost respect. He looks at the Bujim's body one last time without saying anything, then leaves without looking back. I think a story point is next. Oh, hold on. Pretty sure anyway. Yep, story point. Two hours ago. Man, we've transferred the activation permissions for the collapsed crystal catalyzers.
承知いたしました。
Right. Blue Sphere studies the screen before her coldly, then... No. Blue Sphere studies the screen before her coldly, then begins entering a series of commands. While the catalyzers are warming up. Wait, are you seriously going to do that?
はい。 起動するか否か、いくつ起動するか、いつ起動するかは私が判断いたします。
Yes, I have discretionary control over their activation, the number of activations, and when they will be activated.
ダメだ、危険すぎる。このエリアのクリスタル量からして放射線量が1万を超える。1万だぞ。
But it's
テストエリアに匹敵する数値だ。
but it's too dangerous. Given the number of crystals in the region, the radiation density is going to exceed 10,000 vibrants. Those are black zone levels.
回収並びに殺害任務は確実に遂行しなくてはなりません。
Our top
これは
prior
至上命令です。
our top priority is to recover the item and eliminate any witnesses.
臨界点を迎えるまでにチップの奪還や調査隊と404の殲滅ができなかった場合、保険を使用します。
If we cannot recover the chip and eliminate the survey core in 404 by the time the deadline is reached, then this will be our failsafe plan. Blue Sphere's response to the Mangi security officer is cold and aloof, as though this simple, savage, and insane plan is one that is reserved for when there is absolutely no other choice. However, that is not the case. She silently studies the file in her neural cloud. It was written a long time ago, even before the very first catalyzer was installed. Its title is the Poe plan? Named after the first picture humanity took of darkness. And now this darkness from the depths of space is about to descend upon the world.
放射線量の急激な変化は管制部門にバレる。俺たちの安全はどうなる？
A radiation spike like that would draw the attention of the oversight department. We might be in danger too.
でしたらプラン発動までに任務を遂行してください。
Then make sure you succeed so that there is no need to activate the failsafe.
口では何とでも。
You talk like it's so easy.
ご存知だとは思いますが、今回の指揮権は私にあります。
I believe such FABN should have told you that I am in command of this operation.
命令に背くのであれば即刻排除します。あなた一人が消えたところで計画に支障はございません。
If you will not obey orders, then I will have you replaced by someone who will. The plan will not be meaningfully impacted by the loss of one person.
前回はあなたの判断ミスで調査隊を殲滅する好機を逃したばかりか、ブージャムと何度も遭遇していながら目標の回収は失敗に終わりました。
Also, your previous misjudgment led to us missing the best opportunity to wipe out the survey core detachment in one fell swoop. You were also unable to recover the objective beforehand during your previous encounters with the Bujo.
あのブージャムの移動速度と行動範囲は尋常じゃない。こっちは300キロ以上も追跡したんだぞ。
That Bujo moves fast and has a wide range. We've pursued it for nearly 300 kilometers. The major security officer feels a twinge of pain in his head as he thinks about the 2+ weeks he and his men have been spent chasing the Bujo. It was as though the thing was intelligent, intentionally avoiding his forces and circling around them, but then it also destroyed everything it saw like a mindless beast.
兵を分散させて基地局を破壊。賞金ハンターやバレアグの排除。挙句調査隊の増援にまで出くわして。
We also split off our forces to dismantle the base stations and eliminate any Varjagers and bounty hunters we found, and then we also encountered the survey corps reinforcements after that.
奴らの指揮官は明らかに手だれだ。敵に回せば厄介この上ない。
They had a good commander with them, he could have taken us out.
言い訳は結構。役目を果たせない人間はグループに必要ありません。
It doesn't matter. Such FABN will not tolerate mistakes or the people who make them. Why you?
悪かった。
Pardon me. After realizing how dangerous his position is, the Mangi security officer gives up on trying to defend himself.
調査隊の動向は把握しましたか？
Have you found the targets yet?
404とヤホダラ山の岩塩湖跡地に行く。
Survey Corps and 404 are hiding in the disused Yahodna salt mine.
追跡チームによれば負傷したブージャムもそこにいる可能性が高い。
According to the reports from the team sent to pursue the Bujum, the wounded creature is probably hiding there too.
あの行動を封鎖するだけで奴らを一網打尽にできる。
If we can lock the area down, we can trap them in there and take them all out at once.
推定所要時間は
How long will that take?
少なくとも3日だ。やほどな岩塩港は広い。クリスタルを埋め込んで以来、内部の探索は行っていないから、地形の把握に手間取るだろう。
3 days at least. The interior of the Yohodna mine is quite large, and we haven't surveyed it again after planting the collapsed crystals there, so we don't know the interior layout well.
それに敵が内部のどこにいるかもわからない。全員を見つけ出すにはそれなりの時間がいる。
Also, they could be anywhere inside there. We'll need time to find and kill them.
それでは遅すぎます。
That's too slow.
ロレンの援軍が到着すれば、こちらは撤退せざるを得ないでしょう。
Once the UNC Survey Corps reinforcements arrive, you will cease operations and leave ASAP.
そうなれば、ここを彼らが立ち入ることのできないデッドゾーンにしなくては。彼らによる影響をなくせば、目標回収のための時間を稼ぐことができます。
When that happens, this place will become a dead zone that even they won't be able to enter. By eliminating them, we will have more time to recover the mission objective.
本当にあの手を使うのか。
Are you really going to use that plan?
それはまだわかりません。
I might not have to.
もし彼らが一箇所に集まっていて、その位置を特定できた場合はどうなりますか？
Tell me, if they were gathered up and I could find their location, how long would it take you to deal with them?
戦力差を考慮すれば半日だ。
Given the difference in our numbers and equipment, it would only take half a day.
調査隊の戦力は残りわずか。ブージャムも重傷を負っている。見つかりさえすればすぐに終わるだろう。
The Survey Corps was fairly under strength to begin with, and that Spujum is already heavily wounded. If we can find it, we can kill it quickly.
厄介なのはあの人形どもだ。奴らさえいなければ前の戦闘で調査隊を殲滅できたんだ。
The problem is those 4 dolls. We'd have eliminated the Survey Corps already during that battle if it wasn't for them.
4体の人形は私が対処します。あなた方は調査隊とブージャムに専念してください。
I will take care of those dolls. Focus on dealing with the Survey Corps and the Bujum.
それはいいがどうするつもりだ。
That works for me. How are you going to deal with those dolls?
考えがあります。
I have my ways.
私が到着するまでに岩塩港周辺の地形を把握し、すべての入り口に兵を配置してください。
Secure the salt mine and its surroundings before I arrive. Every exit must be watched.
彼らがその場を離れようとした場合を除き、私の命令があるまで動いてはなりません。
Unless they attempt to escape, you are not to engage them without orders from me.
わかった。
Understood.
ところで、分散した調査隊員は見つかりましたか？
Also, have you found the Survey Corps members? Have you found the Survey Corps members who split off from the main body?
ほとんどはな。
Pretty much.
ほとんど。一人残らず殲滅しろと申し上げたはずですが。
Pretty much. I believe I already told you to get rid of them before I arrive. Bluesphere isn't angry, but the coldness in her voice is more terrifying than mere anger.
いや、全員見つけたさ。まだ一組だけ残ってはいるが、すでに人はやった。
We found them all, it's just that there's one more squad that we haven't eliminated yet. I've sent my guys over.
速やかに対処願います。
Good, pick up the pace. Bluesphere hangs up and then she picks up the call from Cocoon.
もう着いた？
Are you there yet?
およそ1時間30分後に到着する予定です。
I reached there in another hour and a half.
ならよかった。
Good.
ロレンの援軍があと1日で到着するそうだけど、間に合うかしら。
I want to confirm something with you. The UNC reinforcements will arrive in around a day's time. Will you make it in time?
問題ありません。
At the moment, yes.
今回、ヤホドナ岩塩港の触媒装置を起動する必要がございます。
However, I need to activate the Yahodna's mine's catalyzers.
他の装置を起動するか否かは、作戦の結果次第です。
As for the other catalyzers, they will depend on the outcome of this operation.
決定権はあなたにあるんだもの。どう使うかは任せるわ。
That's fine. The sword is in your hands, Bluesphere. How to swing it is up to you.
でもね、
However, Gwen pauses for a moment and her voice grows cold.
剣闘士が負けたら、賭けに興じるおじさま方は大層お怒りになるでしょうね。
If a gladiator does not win, she will incur the wrath of her sponsors.
初めに伝えたわよね。証拠を確実に回収できなければ任務を達成したとは言えないわ。
So don't forget that we've received explicit instructions. The evidence must be recovered for the mission to be considered complete.
彼らを駆除するだけじゃダメ。
Just eliminating the personnel is nowhere near enough.
承知しております。
Understood.
そう。それじゃあなたの成功を祈ってるわ。
In that case, all the best in your mission, Blue Sphere. I look forward to your triumphant return. Well, that's a kind of a surprise. I thought it was gonna... I guess it's gonna be that one. Dimitri and 404 return to the mine entrance where he shares what he's found with the other men. After hearing what happened to the deceased and about Maggie Security's arrangement with Petadeos, just about everyone present is filled with anger. We can't die here.
ああ、俺たちはたった今最も重要な情報をつかんだ。
Yep, right now all of us have critical information.
さあ、仲間の血と引き換えに手に入れたんだ。あいつらの声を外に届けなくちゃならねえ。
This information was won by the sweat and toil of our brothers, and they gave their lives to bring it to us. So we have to make sure we carry their voices out of this godforsaken place.
あいつらをこの世界を踏みにじったクソ野郎どもに目に物を見せてやろうじゃねえか。
And the people who killed them, who are harming this world even now, must be punished for what they've done.
その通りです。目に物見せてやりましょう。
We'll show them.
そうだそうだ。総長、命令を。
That's right, just give the word, Sarge.
これからどうする？
What would we do now?
これよりコードネームのろし作戦について説明する。
Listen up. Our upcoming operation is codenamed Smoke Signal.
今後は数チームに分かれて行動する。詳細は全員の端末に送っておいた。それぞれ定められたルートへ出発しろ。
After this, we'll be breaking up into groups, then scattering. I've sent the details to your terminals. Proceed along the indicated routes.
たった一人でもいい。誰かが生きてここを出て基地局にたどり着くさえすれば俺たちの勝ちだ。
If just one of us gets out of here or finds a usable base station, we win.
作戦成功が最優先だ。仲間が倒れても振り返るな。
Don't worry about the people behind you. The path ahead will be much harder. Yes, Sergeant.
お前たちを部下に持ったことを俺は誇りに思う。
I'm proud to have served with men like you.
いいか、最後の最後まで生きることを諦めるな。その命を、その信念を貫いてやれ。
Remember, everyone, achieve your mission with all your might. Despair not till your last breath. Don't let go of your lives or your beliefs. The men are fired up by Dimitri's speech and eagerly begin gearing up. Meanwhile, Dimitri heads over to 404. For once, he doesn't look annoyed or disdainful. Instead, he hands the box containing the chip and the recorder to Klukai.
チップは404が持ってろ。生き残ってる中で一番優秀な奴らをお前らに同行させる。
Take care of this, 404. I'll arrange for my best guys to go with you.
私たちが
You want us to hold on to this?
ああ、調査隊はすでに限界だ。奇襲でも仕掛けない限りマグニと戦っても勝ち目はねえ。
Yeah. Right now, the Survey Corps is low on men and ammo. We won't be able to take those Mangi on in a straight to fight. We'll need to find some way to ambush or surprise them.
お前らに託すのがベストだと判断した。
That's why I think giving the chip and recorder to you is the best course of action. Kukai hesitates for a moment and accepts the box.
了解。
Understood.
ここは放射線まみれだ。イスコーラップスストームやマグニの草どもが襲ってきてもおかしくねえ。もしも、あくまでもしもだがな。
This place is heavily radiated and a collapse storm could occur at any time. Plus, they are bound to launch an attack, so if, and I'm saying if, Dimitri lowers his voice.
同行する人間が死んだりしんがりを務める状況になったとしても気にするな。チップを守り抜くことだけを考えろ。
If the guys with you get hurt or killed, or if they stay behind to cover your escape, don't worry too much about them. Get the chip out of here, that's your top priority.
ディミトリーさんは一緒に来ないんですか？
You mean you're not going with us, Mr. Dimitri?
俺か行くわけねえだろ。
Me? Hell no.
残った仲間たちと白星を挙げに行かねえとな。大将がいないんじゃ話になんねえだろ。
I gotta lead my boys to victory, right? I mean, there's no point in the boss being in the battlefield if it doesn't do anything.
ですが、
But
勝利は万に一つもないのよ。
you have no chance of winning.
来るかい。そんな風に言わなくても。
Klukai, you didn't have to be so. Dimitri doesn't flare up like usual upon hearing Klukai's flat denial. Instead, he laughs.
だからガラクタどもにはわからねえっつってんだろ。
Like I said, you tin cans just don't know.
人間が綺麗事だけ聞きたいバカだと思ったら大間違いだ。
You think humans only listen You think humans only listen to what they want to hear?
何が言いたいの？
What do you mean?
ここにいる誰もがそれこそ新兵ですら生還できる可能性がないに等しいのは分かっている。たとえ援軍が今現れたとしても連絡がつかないんじゃどうしようもない。
All of us here, down to the last who just enlisted, we all know the odds of making it out alive are slim. Hell, even if the reinforcements from the Survey Corps show up right now, we won't be able to contact them to get help either.
通信障害にマグニが一枚噛んでるのは確実だ。臨時基地局を盾に行った連中もおそらく生きちゃいねえだろ。
Pretty sure Mangi are jamming our signals, and nobody knows how many of our boys who went out to set up space stations are still alive either.
基地局を探すにせよ、この荒野を出て上層に報告するにせよ、俺たちの任務はただ一つ。お前たち本命部隊への攻撃をそらすこと。敵を一人でも多く潰せりゃめっけもんだ。
So yeah, rather than hope we find a base station or that we can make it out into the open to contact the brass, I would rather place my bets on your team while we do our best to ease the pressure. If you make it out, it'll be worth it. If we survive, that's the cherry on top.
お前らがチップを持ち帰ることができれば、俺たちは勝つ。
Remember, if you get that chip out, we win.
でも人形と違って本当に死んじゃうんだよ。
But you're really going to die, you know? It's not like with dolls.
死にたいやつなんざ一人もいねえぞ。
You think we don't want to live?
だが、命を張らなきゃなんねえ時に縮こまるやつもいねえ。
But you know what? When the time comes, we'll make our deaths count. None of us is going to back down from that.
俺たちの死がクソどもの土産話になるのだけは許せねえがな。
The important thing is that when we die, it won't be a joke they share over tea and biscuits.
何グズグズしてる？機械は機械だ。人間を理解して何が楽しい？クソの役にも立たねえってのによ。
Well, what the hell are you grinding your gears about? I guess tin cans will be tin cans after all, not that it could do you any good to understand it anyway.
命令通りチップを持ち帰ればそれでいい。俺たちがどうなろうとお前らには関係ねえぞ。
Just follow your orders and get the chip out. Don't worry about what happens to us.
わかったわ。
Got it. After seeing Klukai put the box away, Dimitri nods in satisfaction and heads back to his men.
全員聞け。30分後に作戦開始だ。
Listen up, we move out in half an hour.
この作戦に失敗は許されない。わかったか？
Failure is not an option for this mission. Got that?
了解。
Oh. They didn't even get a chance. It just... As the soldiers shout their assent, a deafening alarm fills the air and every man's collapse radiation detector glows with an ominous red light.
放射線量が急上昇しています。
Radiation levels rising rapidly.
今度は何だ？
What is it now?
総員、 防護服をカゴにしろ。
Everyone, check the seals on your suits.
コーラプス粒子の流れから 90% 以上が坑道内から流出したものと推測。
Given the movement of the collapse particles, over 90% of them are coming from inside the mine.
ディミトリー、今すぐ脱出して。
Dimitri, you need to get out of here now.
そうだな。
Yeah.
総員列、これよりのろし作戦を開始する。
Now hear this. Operation Smoke Signal begins now.
各隊はそれぞれのルートから出発しろ。エリア通信回線を維持。通信可能範囲を超え次第各隊長の指示に従え。
All groups move as planned. Keep regional comms clear, and once you leave the comms range, group leaders are in charge.
404をはじめとする本命部隊は待機時間を10分まで短縮。
404 is the core team. You leave within 10 minutes.
404、チップを絶対に守り抜け。
Make sure you keep the chip safe. 404.
言われるまでもない。
Of course we will. However, just as everyone finishes their gear checks and prepares to leave, shadows in the night pour in and surround them. Their twisted bodies and savage mauls are made even more fearsome by the encirclement.
なんでこんなに生き袋が？
Where did all these elites come from?
多分大量の放射線に引き寄せられたんだと思う。
They were probably drawn here by the high levels of collapse radiation.
ディミトリー、後ろに下がって援護を願い。
Dimitri, take your men and pull back so you can support us.
404、戦闘準備。生き袋を迎撃するわ。
404, prepare for battle and get ready to intercept these elites. Well, it'll be pretty simple. It'll be fine. Deploy. Bomb. Bomba. And this thing. I might be able to one-shot this.
訓練の成果ね。
Ah, I can't because of that. Unless I can get a movement buff with you.
試してみよう。訓練の成果ね。
Okay, let me do this and see if that would actually help.
みんなのために。
訓練の成果ね。
Nah, I can't reach. That sucks, but I mean, I can at least do as much damage as I can.
交代するのは今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。 交代するのは今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
I just bombed that. It's fine.
続けて。どうってことないわ。
Powerful and the Servic Corps put up valiant resistance, but in the end they are forced to beat a fighting retreat into the depths of the mine. Thanks to 404 supporting fire, the elites of the mine tunnels are temporarily cleared away, but they can still hear the howling of elite hordes some distance away. They take advantage of this brief respite to rest and reload.
ここって生き袋の養殖場なの？
Oh, hold on. Is this an elite factory or something?
この生産量、ほんと半端ないよ。ピンからキリまで次から次へと。
This
なんで一斉に出てこないのさ。
The spawn rate is way too high. They just keep coming big and small in one continuous wave.
この辺りにいる生き袋、全部が引き寄せられてるのかも。
My guess is the nearby elites were all drawn in. Also, hold on. Okay.
近くの生き袋は殲滅できたけど、声からして入り口付近にまだ大勢いるね。でも近づけないよ。このままじゃ放射線にやられちゃう。
We may have cleared out the ones around here, but judging by their audio signatures, there are many elites near the main entrance. So we can't escape that way. But if we continue staying here, we'll have to contend with the rising radiation levels inside the mine tunnels.
コーラプス粒子の拡散状況は？
What's the collapse particle situation like?
風の影響で元の速度を維持したまま拡散してる。
Their spread rate is influenced by the wind, and it's continuing at its original rate.
おかしいよ。粒子は拡散してるのに放射線量が下がらない。
The strange thing is, the radiation intensity isn't dropping with spread distance, which means
粒子の総量が増えてるんだわ。
the total amount of radiation is increasing.
増えてる？何それ？コーラプス粒子って自分で増殖できるの？
Increasing? No way. Are they... Increasing? No way. Are the collapse particles generating themselves or something?
クルカイ隊長。
Leader Klukai. Andoris does not use her vocalizer modules for this, says she requests communication with Klukai on level 2. She looks worriedly at the nearby soldiers from the Survey Corps. They've lost even more people during the fighting just now. Directly asking what Andoris has in mind, Klukai switches to level 2 comms as well. What's wrong?
調査隊たちの防護服、さっきの戦いでかなり損傷してる。補修に使える材料もない。
Their protective suits have been compromised during their fighting just now, and we don't have enough material to patch or replace any breaches in the seals.
このまま放射線量が増え続ければ、彼らも長くは持たない。
If the radiation intensity keeps going up, they might have a hard time going on.
わかった。臨界値まであとどれくらい？
Got it. How much longer till radiation intensity reaches critical values?
拡散速度が変わらなければ、もって2時間。
If the curves for spread rate and intensity uptick remain constant, about 2 hours.
ミシティと美容家を連れて、周辺の偵察と生き袋の殲滅に向かわせて。
Take the two of them and keep watch nearby. Get as much information on the surrounding conditions as possible and thin out the number of elites nearby. Will do. After any transmission, Kluka heads over to the Survey Corps troops. Most of them are hurt. Their blood and the mud from their journey have mixed and dulled to a dark brown, which stains their ragged protective suits. Dimitri stands at their head, has just finished encouraging his men. He's sitting against a rock wall, and the soldiers he spoke to earlier are gone.
ディミトリー、そっちは？
Dimitri, you...
生きてる奴は無事だ。死んじまった奴は心配いらねえ。
Everyone who's alive is fine, everyone who's dead won't have any more problems.
放射線量が増えてる。ここにはもういられないわ。
The radiation levels are rising, we can't stay here for long.
分かってる。だが少し兵を休ませたい。
I know that. Give them some time to catch their breath. He pauses and then his gaze settles on the radiation sensor Gluka is holding.
時間はどれくらい残ってる？
How much time do we have left?
2時間。
2 hours.
よし。2時間だな。
2 hours. Yuji falls silent. He looks at his men sitting in the group and he seems to be thinking about something. Perhaps he's running low on stamina, but his clenched fist is trembling slightly. However, he's doing his best to keep his face calm and steady.
俺たちは。
We. Suddenly there's a violent shaking. Salt particles from the rock wall scatter like powdery snow. Dimitri stops talking and springs to his feet from where he's leaning against the tunnel wall.
地震か？
Is that an earthquake? And far away, Andores, who has been assigned to sentry duty, runs back while trying to keep her balance.
クルカイ隊長、爆発が起きた。
Little Cluckite, there was an explosion!
爆発だ。
Explosion?
どうなってるの？
What happened?
原因はわからないけど、療養施設に使われていたガスパイプが一部破損してる。
I'm not sure of the exact reason, but part of those pipes in the walls, the ones built to supply the sanatorium with natural gas, appear to have ruptured.
多分パイプに残っていたガスが生き袋に破壊されたせいで爆発したんだと思う。
It is very likely that the pipes in other areas contained compressed gas that wasn't cleared. The elites broke the pipes, causing the gas to leak, which led to an explosion.
ガス爆発。この揺れ、明らかに一箇所だけじゃないわ。
A gas leak? A single explosion couldn't have created an impact like that.
そうだね。数箇所で一斉に爆発したのかも。とにかく爆心地を調べないと。
True, Perhaps there were multiple explosions at once. We need to investigate the blast site to learn the exact reason.
一難去ってまた一難ってか。
It never rains, but it, well, pours, doesn't it? Doris approaches the two of them and glances at her sensor.
災難だとは限りませんよ、ディミトリーさん。
Well, it's not entirely bad, Mr. Dimitri.
こんな時に何の冗談だ。
Do you even know the situation right now? I'm not in the mood for jokes.
冗談なんかじゃありません。
This is no joke. And Doris projects the data from the sensor.
爆発で崩落が起こったのか、坑道内の風速が減少しています。コーラップス粒子の拡散速度もだいぶ落ちてきました。
The wind speed within the tunnels has slowed down, possibly because the explosions triggered a collapse inside them. As a result, the collapse particles' rate of spread has slowed considerably.
これなら息袋を処理してから脱出しても間に合います。ただどうにかして防護服を修理しないといけませんが。
This way we'll have more time to clear the elids before we leave. Of course, we'll need to think of a way to patch up your suits first.
実はさっきから考えていたんです。ここの療養施設は昔随分と賑わっていましたし、ユナイタスもここで活動していました。もしかしたら物資が残っているかもしれません。
The truth is, I was just thinking, the sanatorium inside the Yehodna salt mines must have been flourishing once. In addition, Perideos unitates were active in this region. Perhaps there were some supplies left. Perhaps there were some. Perhaps there were some supplies left behind. Dimitri realizes he was wrong about Andoris and licks his lower lip awkwardly before clearing his throat.
ああ、確か
You're right.
に。まあ、あれだ。こんな時に冗談みたいに正確に分析しやがってって意味だ。
What I meant to say was, you dolls are always able to analyze things so clearly regardless of the current situation.
アルゴリズムに従うだけのガラクタですから。
Well, that's because we're machines that can only run on algorithms, after all. Dimitri sighs in relief after hearing the good news. He scratches his head in embarrassment and his spirit seems to have lifted a little.
だったら洞窟内の探索を優先するべきだな。次の手を考えつつ、使えそうな物資を探す。
So, next up we should go investigate what's going on in tunnels and come up with the next step of the plan while looking for usable supplies.
そうね。ただ放射線量は依然として高いままよ。あんたたちの防護服じゃ防ぎきれないエリアもあるわ。
That's right. However, the radiation levels in the tunnel are still very high and certain regions might exceed your suit tolerances.
リスクがないとは言えないけど、人形なら放射線量1万まで耐えられる。
In contrast, while we dolls do face a certain degree of risk from high radiation levels, we can still move freely until the radiation intensity reaches 10,000 vibrants. Kuka doesn't directly state her desired conclusion, but Dimitri looks away and lowers his voice.
俺たちはここに残る。捜索は任せる。
Post to here. You can handle the scouting.
息袋の襲撃に備えて人形をここに一人置いていくわ。
The elids in the tunnels haven't been cleared yet. Should I station a doll here to help out?
いやいい。防護服が破れただけだ。自分の肉体守れる。
Now it's only our suits which are damaged. Besides, we've got our guns and our bayonets. We can hold out for a bit.
了解。
All right.
アンドレス、ミスティと美容家を呼んで坑道内をくまなく探すわよ。
And Doris, contact Belka and Mechti. Get them to gather up. We'll be exploring the
了
tunnels.
解です。想定通りの勝利です。
I don't know why I thought I was in the story point already, but I think I'm gonna just do this final story point, and that's gonna be it for me tonight. Because then we only have... Okay, we do have a lot left. But we have done a lot. Like halfway through, I think? Still about a week left, I think. No, not a week. 4 days. Oh, dang. It'll be fine. It's what, 4, 5, 6, 7. It'll be fine. I'm gonna do the little side missions off stream. Before it leaves, Dimitri rubs his forehead and glances over at the surviving men, who are huddled together and discussing something quietly. There's barely concealed worry and fear in their eyes.
シャキッとしろ。人間が人形より先に諦めてどうする。
Shut up, lads. Would be a disgrace if we humans gave up before dolls, yeah?
死んじまった奴らの分まで生きるんだ。あいつらの最後、遺族に伝える義務もある。
We need to live for the sake of our fallen bratva. Their families are waiting for news, and we need to take care of them too.
総長、俺たち本当はもう
Sarge, actually, we.
ちょっと待った。
Hold on a minute.
見てください。信号ですよ。
Look, guys, a signal. It's a signal. The trooper holding his terminal is so delighted that his voice is trembling and he's on the verge of tears. He eagerly points to the monitor on his communicator.
もしかしたら基地局を盾に行った連中が生きてるかもって、それで
I was just thinking maybe we could go check the guys who went to set up the base stations might still be alive, so.
助かった。俺たち助かったんですよね、総長。
We're saved, aren't we? Troopers seems to have been driven nearly mad by the possibility of survival. They all crowd around, seemingly forgetting that they have terminals of their own.
変だぞ。この信号、俺たちの回線じゃない。
No, that's not right. The signal isn't on our line, is it?
構うもんか。信号さえあれば外と連絡できる。総長が言ってたじゃないですか。増援が来るって。
Who cares? If there's a signal, it means we can contact the outside world. Didn't the Sarge say that backup would be arriving soon?
合流さえできれば、パラデウスだろうがマグニだろうが、へじゃないですよ。
Once we meet up with them, we won't need to fear Mangi or Petadeus or any.
落ち着け。
Calm down.
罠の可能性もある。通信をつなげた瞬間、こちらの位置がバレるぞ。
This might be an enemy trap. Will be revealed if we respond and establish a two-way communication link.
だからって諦めるんですか。総長、もう半年も息子に会ってないんです。
But we can't just give up on that, right? I haven't seen my boy in half a year, Sarge. Just as Dimitri is torn between what to do next, the terminal which received the signal picks up an unfamiliar comms request. 5 seconds pass, but the request to pick up is still going. The monotonous dial tone echoes in the cavern while the communication terminal's notification light keeps flashing. After thinking for a moment, Dimitri presses a few buttons on the terminal and silently shares a transmission with 404 through the regional comms frequency. After that, he hits the accept button. The communication link is successfully established and an inorganic voice speaks over the line.
はじめまして、ディミトリー総長。
Oh no. Greetings, First Sergeant Dimitri.
誰だ。
Who's this? He hears a beep indicating that the transmission has been successfully shared with 404.
私はマグニセキュリティを指揮する人形です。ブルースフィアとお呼びください。
I am the dull in command of the Mangus Security Detachment. You may address me as Blue Sphere. His face twists into savagery as he hears the other person identify herself. Takes a deep breath, trying to speak as calmly as possible.
何の用だ。
What the hell do you want?
投降してはいただけませんか。
I would like to request your surrender.
くたばれ。このクソが。
I cannot translate, sorry.
落ち着いてください。ディミトリー総長。
I believe you should calm yourself, First Sergeant Dimitri.
口論は時間を無駄にするだけです。そして、あなた方に残された時間はごくわずか。
Arguing will only waste time, which is something you do not have.
それに、
In addition, Blue Sphere pauses for a moment.
これは我々のネットワークです。あなた方は使用権限を与えられたに過ぎません。
The network you are currently using is under my control. Your communications are severely restricted and only effective within a limited range.
先ほど通信ジャミングを確認。そして404からの呼び出しを遮断しました。無礼極まりない。
I've just detected an attempt to jam this transmission and intercepted an attempt from 404 to call for help. I trust this will be the last time you attempt such actions.
聞こえていますね。ディミトリー総長と通信を共有する。416のスティグマを持ったお人形さん。
Isn't that right, First Sergeant Dimitri, who has shared this call with 404 and the doll imprinted to the 416 firearm who attempted the call for help?
放射線のシャワーを楽しみたいのなら話は別ですが。
Unless, of course, you want the radiation levels to rise more quickly.
やっぱりあんたたちの仕業ね。
So that was your doing.
もっと穏便にことを運びたかったのですが。 致し方ありませんね。あなた方の行動には驚きました。実を言うと、こちらの任務が幾分か妨げられているのです。
I'd hoped to deal with you in a more simple manner. That was merely because I had no other choice. In truth, the actions you took have exceeded my expectations and caused no small amount of disruption to the progress of my mission.
ここはお互い歩み寄ってはいかがでしょう。
Therefore, I was hoping we could make things easier for all of us.
歩み寄るだと。茶碗も大概にしろ。
Easier? Or do you think you're kidding?
そこで待ってろ。今にその首をへし折ってやる。
You better hide and pray I don't find you.
そちらにとって正面衝突は最も避けたいでしょうに。あなた方を殲滅するのはたやすい。
A head-on encounter is the worst-case scenario which your side needs to avoid at all costs. If things come to that, I am absolutely certain I can eliminate all of you.
行動の入り口もすべて爆破で塞がっています。退路はありません。
The entrances to the mines have also been demolished. You have nowhere to run.
入り口を爆破？
You blew them up.
わざわざ爆薬を浪費するなんてご苦労様だこと。
Given the circumstances, that would only serve to waste ammunition supplies.
言ったでしょ？穏便に済ませたいと。それなのに、あなた方は突拍子のない動きばかりする。
Like I said, I would like the situation to be resolved quickly and expediently. Yet you are constantly creating new complications for me.
私はハプニングを好みません。もちろん、私の雇い主も。
I dislike the unexpected, and so do my employers.
言いたいことがあるならさっさと言え。
Get to the point and stop listening to the sound of your own voice.
こちらの目的は明白です。繰り返します。投降してはいただけませんか？
I believe I have made my objective very clear. I'll repeat myself, I would like you to surrender.
ルージャムに取り付けた発信機が破壊されました。あなた方が生きているということは、あれは討伐されたのでしょうか？
The tracer we planted in the Bujum has been destroyed. Since you are still alive, I take it you have already killed it.
私たちが欲しいのは、そちらが回収したチップと録音装置です。もしあなた方に条件があるなら伺いましょう。
Still, that is not important. I want what you have. If you hand over the chip and the recording device, you may state your terms.
死に腐ってろ。このドサンピンが。
Screw up a dream of electric sheep.
これにはな、てめえらの悪事が詰まってんだ。渡してたまるか。
I've got the evidence of all your crimes right here. Like how I'm going to hand it over to you.
ディミトリー、元新ソ連軍軍人。当時の階級は準尉。
Dmitry, a former warrant officer of the NSU Armed Forces.
2064年、カーター将軍をはじめとした新ソ連軍の武闘派勢力失脚に伴い、南西方面陸軍へと左遷。
In 2064, when General Carter's NSU hardliners lost power, as a member of those hardliners, you were transferred to the Southwestern Military District.
2067年、W2067-0341 浄化エリア775路線防衛軍へ編入。
In 2067, you were transferred to Purification Zone W_2067_0341 as part of the 775th Railway Defense Forces.
2068年、鹵獲品横領により総長へと降格。
In 2068, you were demoted to First Sergeant for retaining confiscated property without permission.
何のつもりだ。
What are you getting at?
あなたの経歴を洗いました。親友のニコライと比べて、あなたは起点が利く。
I have briefly summarized your background. You are a much more intelligent man in contrast to your comrade Nikolai.
私の要求に応じれば、あなたとその部下の命は保証しましょう。ある程度の自由は奪われますが、命を落とすよりはマシかと。
If you agree to my request, I can spare you and I can guarantee the survival of your men. While your communications and personal freedom will be curtailed to some extent, it is preferable to death.
人間の命はたった一度だけ。慎重にお考えください。
Humans only have one life. I hope you will cherish yours. The hand Dimitri is holding the terminal with trembles.
10分以内にご返答願います。404も同様です。
Please give me your answer within 10 minutes. The same applies to Hide 404.
死の概念のない私たちにその条件を飲むメリットはないわ。
Death is not a concern for us. Your terms are invalid.
あなた方には依頼内容変更の保証金として手厚い報酬をご用意しております。
We are willing to compensate you handsomely if you will amend the terms of your commission.
私の知る限り404は非軍事勢力管理局の所属でありながら表向きは存在しない特殊部隊。
To my...
実態は傭兵そのもの。
I really hope we end up getting here soon because things are looking bad. To my knowledge, while you are unregistered dolls affiliated with Nonfa, you are fundamentally mercenaries who work for money.
私の雇い主なら今よりはるかにいい待遇を提示できます。そちらが投降し記憶の削除を受け入れればの話ですが。
My employer can match your client's price, provided you surrender to us and accept the deletion of your neurocloud logs corresponding to this time period.
明確にご回答願います。そちらの同意をもって協力関係は構築されたものとみなします。
Please give me a concrete answer. A reply in the affirmative will constitute acceptance of cooperation.
旧式の第二世代人形とはいえ、人形は感情に流されるべきではありません。
Even though you are only second-gen dolls, you are still dolls, and as such, you should not be swayed by your emotions.
あなた方が現実に向き合い、最善を選び取れるよう願っております。
I hope you will make an accurate assessment of the facts and make the logical choice.
いい加減な情報だこと。
Your intelligence is not accurate.
今なんと
What?
ハイド404規則通信と会議について第1条。
Rules and regulations for Hide 404 members' commissions. Article 1.
依頼者が依頼を取り消す、もしくは依頼者が規約に背いた場合を除き、いかなる理由があろうと任務を放棄してはならない。
Unless a commission is cancelled or the client violates the terms of the commission, no mission in progress may be awarded under any circumstances.
一度決めたルールは絶対よ。異例は認められない。隊長である私も含めてね。
Rules are made to be followed. Nobody can break them. This includes me as squad leader.
何より
And besides... Lukai pauses for a moment. Her tone becomes more forceful.
エリート人形としてあんたみたいな命令に従うだけのガラクタが一番気に食わないのよ。
As an elite doll, I am sick and tired of listening to a tin can like you who only knows how to follow orders. Lucifer clearly did not expect this response from Klukai because the channel goes silent.
人形のセリフでここまで笑ったのは初めてだぜ。
This is the first time I've actually been happy to hear something from a doll.
おい、ブルーだかなんだか知らねえが、よく聞け。
Now then, or whatever your name is, listen up.
俺たちの命は確かに一つしかない。だがどう生きるか、どこで生きるかは俺たちの勝手だ。
You're right. We only have one life. But how we live it and where we live it is up to us.
弾を取るつもりならかかってこい。だが無理だろうな。その程度の頭じゃな。
So if you want my life, you can come and take it. But here's the thing. You can't do that right now, can you?
お望みとあらば、すぐにでも殺して差し上げましょう。
I have the fullest confidence of doing so.
それが本当なら、わざわざ入り口を爆破するか？直接攻めた方が早いだろう。
If you do, then why blow the mine entrances? Wouldn't sending your bully boys in to take us out be easier?
なぜか？可能性としては2つある。
The way I see it, there are only a couple of reasons why you do things that way.
一つ、お前らの戦力は口ほどにもなく、コーラップス粒子も制御できねえ。したがって、さっきのは全部ブラフだ。
1. You don't actually have that much in the way of firepower, and you don't have that much control over the collapse particles, which means everything you just said was a bluff.
2つ、時間稼ぎだ。 離れた場所からこっちに近づいてるか何かを待ってるかのどちらかだろう。いずれにせよ今までの戦闘でマグニセキュリティには人形なんざいなかった。
2. You're stalling for time, because you're too far from our little cave. Or perhaps you're waiting for the right moment or something. And as I recall, those manky mutts of yours didn't have any tin cans with them when we fought them earlier.
その程度でハッタリのつもりか。てめえがネジ一本しかなかった頃からこちとら戦術論を叩き込まれてんだよ。
And you want to bluff on an empty hand with me? I was hustling when you were still a screw in the toolbox.
残念ですディミトリー総長。もう少し話のわかる方だと思っていましたが。
What a shame for Sergeant Dimitri. I was under the impression that you were an intelligent man.
それでもお会いできるのを楽しみにしております。
Still, I look forward to meeting you later. The transmission ends and the signal cuts off shortly after. Inner vehicle blue sphere checks the cold duration.
調査隊の位置は
Have you found them?
大体は特定できた。
Yes, I've got their rough location.
人員を再分配し戦力を集中させましょう。爆
Wait, hold on. Yes, I've got their rough location locked down.
破した箇所を含め各入り口の保証はそのままに。
Reallocate your men and focus your firepower. Do not move your sentries from each mine entrance. This includes the ones which have already been blasted shut.
坑道内のコーラップス粒子は完全に放たれている。放射線量の上昇は緩やかになるはずだ。調査隊がこれを機に移動したらどうする？
Particles within the collapsed crystals inside the tunnel complex have already been fully released. Since the radiation intensity won't go up too much anytime soon, don't you think they'll try to reposition if they get the chance?
彼らの物資では広範囲の移動は不可能でしょう。近くにいる生き袋だけでも手に余るはずです。
The remaining supplies would not allow them to attempt large movements. The elites remaining in the tunnels would constitute a major threat to them.
私はあと1時間で到着します。それまでは一切の不手際も許されません。
I will arrive in about 1 hour. Do not make any mistakes until then.
わかった。
Understood. Alright, so I guess the big stuff is what happens next. A lot of Elid stuff. I guess I might as well do one of these, just to get some progress going on this, because I haven't really done much on here. Sure. Gotta deal with 2 of them at once. The goal is just to make it in first place. A doll to clash with. Well. So you're gonna buy some developmental plan. I'm building, purchasing, and converting a structure to immediately trigger resources and therefore, or thereafter trigger resource when stuff ends. Okay. That'd be nice. Sure. Dang it. Dang it. I don't know if catching up to me is a bad thing, so I hope I can build something here. Oh, well, I guess it's a clash. I mean, are you even trying? Honestly, didn't expect you to say that to me. If I can keep stealing from them, that actually helps. Unless you're so greedy, Commander, can't let any chances go after all. Wait, what? Did I not beat? What? Why did I loot? I got a 6, you got a 2. Oh my god, I need to stop clicking the ones that it sells me to. Of course got Wheel of Fortune instantly. I'm getting so unlucky. Oh, dang. I'll use that later. I'm gonna, of course I don't land on one of the pain. I build one of those. Oh, here we go. I don't understand whether I win or lose. I still lose. Ah. Barely winning, but I'm winning. Running out of die here. You know what? I need to build something. I'm getting a developmental plant. Won't die. Nearest resource tile. Yeah. Good one of these. Because I think having more buildings also increases your score. Are you kidding me? Look, I won. So why am I still losing? I don't get it. So is there just no downside to clashes then? Or clashes when they do it? I need to go after you. You have more. There we go. And now normal die. Alright, nice. Oh wait, so I could actually have some really good stuff here. Dang it. Yo? Okay, 4's pretty good. Alright, that gave me a huge boost. Developmental plan was a good idea. Is a signal hub pointless if you don't have base stations? I stole it. Oh no, I need to get one of those. Alright. Yeah, well, better than the Blues. Of course rolls good fortune, why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she, right? No. I'm doing it. I'm doing a clash. Come on. Yes. Oh, I should have read what said Commander Boss. Oh, great. Don't. Okay. Yo! Auction house. Am I putting you to sleep? Okay. Well, I gained back what I lost. A road. Dang it. Well, we might get lucky again. Yo! I think I'm relatively safe. Oh no, not again. Not again. Not again. Not again. Alright, you know what? Doing a 2 so I can get a gamble. Dang it. Yes! The gamble! Yes! The gamble! Alright, she no longer have to deal with that. That's fine. You are the one that I'm worried about right now. Yes! Okay, I won. We're good. Let's exit. Alright, so now I'm done. Oh wait, the performance index. Must I need to message somebody. Okay. Alright. Anyway, thank y'all for stopping by. Let's see if there's anyone I could potentially read.
はいはい。自我がなくて使い勝手のいいミシティだよ。
Let's see. Is there anyone to read? Unfortunately, looks like you know what? Sure. Alright. Anyway, thank y'all for stopping by. I'm gonna go now. So, good night. See y'all. Peace. Bye.